Happy Thanksgiving. Food, family, and football.
Turkey, football, the tradition.
Welcome to an early holiday kickoff with a national audience. Everybody is watching. Time for a hero in the making. The big stage. Each year hosted by the Lions.
Happy to have you with us on this Thanksgiving.
This year, an old-time rivalry will get our day started.
One of my favorite football days of the year every year.
And for those across the country, wherever you may be watching, and the servicemen and women around the world, eat up, cheer hard, and remember what's really important. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Welcome to this Fox NFL special. It's the Bears and the Lions. Who will be the hero today?
Clint Eastwood and all of America, we're ready to make your day. That's because it's Thanksgiving, and we are coming to you live from New York City to kick off a triple header of football with a special 2-hour edition of the Fox NFL pregame show, along with the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. We'll be outside on 6th Avenue in just a bit. But first on our Turkey Day menu, it's the Bears and the Lions. Chicago has seen the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to Mitchell Trubisky. But the last time he faced the Lions, it was all good. In fact, Trubisky had his best game of the season with 3 TD passes and no picks in a Bears win. And might we see a holiday miracle? The Lions will start rookie quarterback David Blau, who's never played in an NFL game before. Injuries to their top 2 quarterbacks is Blau dreaming of a Clint Longley or Jason Garrett moment on Thanksgiving with the entire country watching today. So, as we get cranking with the one and only Built Ford Tough Fox NFL special pregame show brought to you by the Ford F-Series, the official truck of the NFL. Well, the Lions and Thanksgiving go together like turkey and gravy. It started way back in 1934 when Detroit hosted the Bears in the very first NFL game on Thanksgiving Day. Here we are 8 decades later and back in the Motor City for the same 2 division rivals going at it. Come on in and stay a while, folks. I'm Kurt Menefee. Thanks to Clint Eastwood for starting things off. His new movie, Richard Jewell, hits theaters December 13th. But right now, I want to wish all of you at home a happy Thanksgiving. And our family here at Fox, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy, happy Thanksgiving, brother.
Happy Thanksgiving. You guys are invited to the house after the show. Just got to bring something.
Hey, Michael.
Cash preferably.
Yeah.
Here in your city, there are a lot of people outside.
Well, it's the Macy's Day Parade, the Thanksgiving Day Parade.
A lot of people.
That's where all the people are out there. You thought they would come to see you, but no, not for you, Jimmy.
But they will get to see him. 3.5 million people will be lining the streets for this parade. We're going to go out there, get right in the middle of them, and see if we can let Terry maybe throw a few passes or something along the way.
Hey, that's what I do best. Throw passes, sing a few songs, make folks laugh, give a giggle to the kids. Life's good.
We're thankful for having you in our lives. That's how we look at it.
We're going to have some food out there, too.
We got
he left out eating is one of your good things.
You've done the whole rundown for us as we are here in New York. We're going to try and combine 2 uniquely American traditions today. First, as we said, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which is happening right outside the studio, and we'll get out there. Secondly, though, but first in our hearts, pro football on Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving and football. Their union dates back more than a century. The 1860s, to be more precise, a holiday and a sport, both inherited by the country within years of each other.
Thanksgiving is such a great day. I mean, it's a tradition. It's football, turkey football. You can't beat that.
It began at the amateur level, an avenue for high school championships and early college rivalries. But it wasn't until 1934 that Thanksgiving and football took the leap from local practice to a national celebration.
When you have turkey and stuffing and football and the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions, I don't think it gets any better than it.
George A. Richards, new owner of the Detroit Lions in their first season in the Motor City, saw Turkey Day as a marketing opportunity to draw fans to the stadium. Richards had the game broadcast nationally across 94 radio stations. An NFL first. Thanksgiving and football were in it together for the long haul.
Well, Thanksgiving was always a special day for me, and not because of turkey and cranberry sauce and all that stuff.
Family.
I was working, trying to get a team ready to play. And we always thought it was a big advantage for us, playing at home. We didn't have to travel. So that gave us an extra day of practice getting ready for this, ball game. And it showed up. It was always a big advantage. And on top of that, we had about 3 extra days after the game to get ready for that final stretch.
This started, as we said, with the Detroit Lions hosting the first Thanksgiving Day game back in 1934. The Cowboys then joined in the 60s. They started hosting a game every year. And now we're up to 3 games on Thanksgiving Day. But the big one for us here today is in Detroit, Howie. And we talked a little bit earlier about Jason Garrett and the heroics that he had on Thanksgiving Day. Well, for those that don't remember or aren't old enough, Jason used to be a quarterback. He was the 3rd-string quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Troy Aikman, Rodney Peete, both hurt. So they started on Thanksgiving Day against the Packers. Garrett, who in the second half threw a couple of touchdown passes, over 300 yards, got the turkey leg from John Madden, and went down in the books as a Dallas hero forever. Now he's the head coach. We'll talk about his travails later on. But right now, how about this Lions-Bears matchup starting today? Can David Blau, making his first NFL start, be the new Jason Garrett?
Well, that's not the video that the Bears wanted to see, and I'm sure that the Detroit Lions have done a great job of pointing out just what Jason Garrett did a number of years ago on Thanksgiving. For the Bears, it's been a fascinating year. After going 12-4, missing a kick to go to the divisional round, a lot of high hopes this year. The offense has taken a step back, and Terry's going to have a piece later on the field on Mitch Trubisky and how he thinks they could better utilize his talents. The kicking game, despite being a big priority in the offseason and through training camp, has been an issue. The defense without Akeem Hicks has played well, but they haven't had the same kind of game-changing plays that they were used to last year. So it's going to be an interesting day, but to get 2 in a row and get some momentum will be key for the Bears.
Boy, it really made me feel good about the Bears after that. Woo! But another team right now who's kind of been in the news all week, obviously because of their record, but the talent that they have on their team, that people feel like they're not living up to their expectations. The Dallas Cowboys and Jason Garrett over there. And this is a team that it's a must-win for them today. A must-win against the Buffalo Bills, because right now, of course, they should win this division, the NFC East, but they are still, fighting, going into the playoffs with some kind of confidence. The head coach is under fire. All of it has been put on his shoulders, so he is coaching for his job. And then you have an owner who is hopefully wants them to win because he can ease his frustration. But every team has a window of opportunity. The Cowboys' window of opportunity has come and gone over several other seasons when they had talent. The only time they took advantage was when you were the head coach, your window opened, you took advantage. They have not been able to do that over the last 20-plus years. This year kind of looks like the same thing. You have to take advantage when you have the players at the right time. Right now, the Cowboys need to figure out
this team's
how to get a win.
Young and talented.
Too young and talented to be what they are.
I've been sitting here. See that? I keep thinking that's a feather, but that's a light.
Well, people at home can't see that. People at home are wondering, what are you pointing to? It's a light reflection, people.
The things that fascinate the people at the old folks.
It's like the cat in the house that's chasing the light all around. Let's talk about Atlanta and New Orleans tonight.
Atlanta is hosting the Saints, and the Saints, Saints lost to Atlanta at home in New Orleans. Listen, New Orleans was just one bad official call away from going to the Super Bowl last year, and now their offense is a little beat up. We talked about this ourselves, that offensive line is hurt on the left side especially, but they're finding ways to win. Their defense isn't as dominant at it as it has been, but the Saints are one of those teams we all think is going to be right there in the playoff hunt. Today, down in Atlanta, I don't expect anything to stop the Saints. I think after Sean Payton saw what happened to them at home, he's got this team ready to win and to get on into the playoffs.
Well, they can do both those things. If the Saints, in fact, win tonight, they can become the first team in the league to make it officially into the postseason. All they have to do is win against Atlanta, and they'll wrap up the NFC South for the 3rd straight year. Meanwhile, over the AFC, the Patriots, when they take on the Texans on Sunday night, well, they could be just a win away from making the playoffs. There are a lot of different scenarios to get them in, but if and when New England eventually gets there, which they will, it'll mark the 11th straight season they've made the playoffs, extending their already impressive NFL record. All right, Jay Glazer joins us right now. We have been talking about this Detroit Lions and David Blau making his first start. How do we get here?
Let me tell you exactly how we got to this situation. So Matthew Stafford actually has some broken bones in his back, about a 6-week injury, yet even though they would put him out for the rest of the year, he's told the Lions, no, don't put me down yet. I still want to try and come back, even if we're not in the playoff picture. So then Jeff Driscoll, he steps in for him. He goes down. He has a hamstring injury. They don't want to put him out there because he's a mobile quarterback. He can't move like they'd like to. David Blau, they traded him for him from the Cleveland Browns at the end of the preseason. He's never thrown a pass in the NFL. So the quarterback after that would be their tight end, Logan Thomas, who, by the way, has actually thrown more passes than David Blau has in the NFL. What I'm trying to say is, happy Thanksgiving, Lions fans.
Whatever it takes to get him there. All right, we'll get back to Jay in a little bit. You know what? I know you're fascinated by the light. Don't walk into it, Terry, but go out that way and go outside, because we want to get out there with the crowd. 3.5 million folks here to see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. We will join them out there, and we'll also be joined by former NFL player turned chef Eddie Jackson. He'll show us his take on a traditional holiday feast. Cooper Manning and Rob Gronkowski, they'll go head-to-head in a little family competition. Plus, we'll look back at the Movie Brian song and the continuing impact of running back Brian Piccolo. And how would you like to play your Turkey Bowl game at Lambeau Field? This family beat you to it. More on that in a bit. It's a day of family, food, fun, and football, and it's all right here on Fox.
Fox NFL Special Pregame Show is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Built Ford Tough.
We are now outside on the streets of New York City, joining all the folks who are lined up, and I do mean lined up on 6th Avenue to catch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Now, hey, these are your people, man.
I brought them all in. Hey! That's right.
These are actually your people, Mr. New York.
These are our people. Those are people.
These are all the people of America. I think if you look around, can you see? Give me one of the cameras here. I'm going to show you. Over here. This is just a good representation of what we see. Because you look at this. We got 49ers. We got the Saints. We got the Packers. We got the Chiefs. We got Big Head Jimmy. I tell you, wherever you are in America, New York truly is the crossroads of the world. On Thanksgiving Day, we will have the parade going behind us and get a chance to see lots of the floats as they go by. But right now, I want to talk a little bit of football. You know what? So much has been made this year about the mobile quarterbacks. And we talk Lamar Jackson. We talk Russell Wilson. We don't mention Mitchell Trubisky. And maybe we should, maybe not being mobile, but certainly as we take a look at the IBM Insights built by IBM Watson, you can see the numbers when he is on the move are tremendously in his favor.
But first of all, first of all, he's very athletic. Let's not say he's not mobile. He is mobile, and he does when he's out of the pocket. He seems to have his vision. He's a little more comfortable, Kurt, when he's out of the pocket, because what he is, he's locking downfield, and it's either short or it's long. If everything drops off, then what he does is he runs with the football.
Hey, Jimmy, take a look at the play first. Michael, explain it to us.
Michael is Miller. Jimmy be my back. I'll just all right. Now let's go to the tape. There's the tape. Going left, finding Miller on a corner route into the post, back outside.
Two on the run.
Now, now I'm going to do it to the right, all right, just because we don't have enough room. Jimmy comes inside. Now, I'm going to read, and one of my receivers is going down. He's looking at me. If they blitz, I would pop him with the blitz. Then I go outside, and when I'm outside, he squares his shoulders up. He squares his shoulders up. He really is excellent fundamentally when he's moving right or left. There's no problem.
Why more so when he's moving?
He's probably just comfortable. Standing in a pocket, he's certainly used to it because he's a quarterback. You're used to all the pressure around you. But for some reason, and I think a lot of it may have to do with what's happening in Chicago, with the critics that he's had, and I'm not so sure this offense is set up exactly for him. And another thing, maybe not enough weapons around him, so his confidence is down. When he's outside, he feels free, he can see everything.
To me, I think, you've got to throw it all out the window. I'm not sure the mentality of playing quarterback, but as a defensive lineman, things go back, you say, look, I'm just go out and play.
Yeah.
Just go out and cut it loose. And I think Mitch needs to not worry about the critics, not worry about making the wrong throw, show his athleticism. He throws the ball extremely well in the run. The players that I see around the league, Garoppolo, you look out in L.A., people on play-action pass and also bootlegs off play-action pass. Boy, Kidder's wide open by 12 yards off a heavy run fake, play-action pass. He's got a big arm, and he's a great athlete.
Howie, I'll put a lot of this on the coaching staff because with Trubisky, when he's in the pocket, he's got to make decisions, read the safety, read the linebacker, 1, 2, 3, go back to the backside. Now, if he's on the move, play-action passes, Terry, you can tell him, it's a 1, 2, 3.
Yes,
I mean, it's very simple. So take some of the decision-making away from him.
And the instinct takes over.
And he can just run if it's not
you
there.
are coached properly, you're better in the pocket. It is not that hard. You make it out to be some kind of science.
But here initially, when he's young, before he is able to make those decisions.
You can tell right now that his confidence is shot, all right?
Yeah.
And when Howie said, just go out and let it fly, what he needs to do more than anything, and that's what happened to me. I was going out of the league. I was a failure until I finally said, I have had enough. I have had enough of the press, the coaches, and I got mad and I got angry and I took it upon myself and I used that as motivation and it got me where I needed to be mentally.
It's hard to play that position mad and angry.
But it's hard to play that position, too, when you look at guys who were picked after you. They moved up to take you, and they moved up. You get Mahomes, you get Watson, you get all these guys who are playing well. That kills some of your confidence as well. And it's kind of like Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. If you're going to have a guy play quarterback, if you're going to go move up that high to get him, like in Kirk Cousins, you paid him that much money, let them throw the ball. You cannot have a guy out there who's so afraid to make a mistake, and I think that's what Mitch Trubisky is.
Kirk was he was too mechanical. Now he's just cutting it loose.
Yeah, I can tell you, Trubisky may have as much pressure on him as any player in the league for the rest of this season because it could determine his future there in Chicago. But you know what? When he's mobile, we said he's good. You know who can stop a good quarterback, whether he's mobile or in the pocket or not?
What's that?
A good cornerback. A good cornerback. And we've got, timeout. We've got one. At least he played over 40 games in the National Football League with the New England Patriots, the Miami Dolphins, but now he's a celebrity chef. Eddie Jackson from the Food Network.
What's up, Eddie?
What's going on? You turn those football paychecks into a food business, huh?
Yes, I do. So I got 4 quarters of food for you guys today.
Okay,
so I hope you guys are ready to eat.
Courses along the way.
Yeah, 4 courses along the way, right? We have some gumbo, I have some turkey legs, and I have a little sweet potato mousse, but we're going to start off a little light and easy. So I have Texas caviar, right? Now, you know you're from Texas. You know a little bit about this, Mike, right?
That's kind of an
What is Texas caviar?
It is an oxymoron because there's nothing caviar about this dip.
It's cheap, Kirk.
Yeah, okay, there you go. That's
It's
it.
very
It's
cheap.
not expensive. What is in it, though?
So basically what we have is, right, I have 2 different types of beans. I have some pepper, some jalapeno, some red pepper, a little bit of lime juice.
Kick to it.
Has a little bit of a kick to it, but it's more of a dip. This is what you eat on while you're watching the game before the main course comes in, right?
Okay.
So it's going to be light and easy, guys. So
What do you have? Chips?
Yeah, get your little chip in there, a little dip. It's going to have a little kick to it now. Be easy down there, Coach. Be easy down there, Coach.
No, I like the jalapenos now. I like the jalapenos.
Oh, you like the heat? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It does have a little heat.
Good, right?
Yeah. That's
This is just a starter, right?
Yeah, this is just the starter. Here's what I got. Gumbo.
Gumbo?
Yeah, gumbo. I got some turkey legs coming. Then we're going to finish it off with a nice sweet potato mousse.
All right, we're going to have Eddie Jackson with us throughout the show, and we will talk more about the upcoming Bears-Lions matchup. We'll also get with this crowd a little bit more as we continue here on the Ford Fox NFL special pregame show. But up next, in honor of the NFL's 100, Huddle for 100, pardon me, we'll take a look at how teams and fans have come together to give back to their communities. Plus, Jimmy Johnson, he'll relive a Thanksgiving moment he'd probably rather forget, even though none of us ever will. And later, we look ahead to a potential Super Bowl preview as the Ravens will take on the Niners this Sunday right here on Fox as we continue coming to you live with this crowd here in New York City. Kicking off the holiday season with the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade since 1924. They took a couple of years off during World World War II, so this is the 90th official edition as they kick off the Christmas campaign here in New York City. Of course, Thanksgiving for everyone is a time to give back. And as the NFL continues to celebrate its 100-year anniversary, the league is inviting fans to donate 100 minutes of time to a cause that's bigger than themselves. It's called Huddle for 100. As a part of the NFL's Huddle for 100 initiative, each of the 32 teams have mobilized players, fans, and employees to join together and contribute 100 minutes of their time toward bettering the lives of others.
Give it up for Bobby Wagner! I'm so happy to be here, guys, and be able to hang out with you.
We're out here in the south side of Minneapolis at the Boys and Girls Club.
And we're out here having fun. I got some of my guys with me.
The notion that time is our most valuable commodity is being proven day in and day out through these acts of service. Not only have hundreds of causes benefited from the time donated, but so have the volunteers through the gift of giving.
I would do this every day of the year if I could, man. This is winning the Super Bowl for me.
It's such a special day, just overall. I'm really just blessed and thankful to have some small role in it.
As a result, the NFL is elated to announce that they have exceeded their goal of reaching 100 million minutes, thanks to all the dedicated volunteers. The programs partnered with focus on crucial areas that need progression within our society. I personally was fortunate enough to team up with the Rams and spend the day with a cause dear to my heart, helping some furry friends in need of a home. How do we leave here today and not take one of these dogs home? All of the efforts being put forth are building meaningful and lasting contributions to communities across America. The NFL's initiative is just a reminder that life is so much bigger than just ourselves, so let's continue to create progress and huddle for 100. And you can go to NFL.com/huddle for 100 to find out how you can help and how to log your minutes. And joining us right now is one of the volunteers, Alex Kirby Taylor. First of all, thanks for joining us. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving to you, and thanks for volunteering. Tell us how you got motivated to do this.
Well, I've always volunteered, and I saw a segment about the Huddle for 100, and I thought it would be a great way to get my boys, who are both football players in Darien, Connecticut, involved. So the 8th grade team is finishing up their youth football league, and so they got, this is the last year they're in the youth, are going to high school next year, so we got them together and we contacted a local nonprofit called At Home Darien, and they help elderly stay in their homes. So we raked leaves for them for a day. We collected food for Person to Person, a local service organization in Lower Fairfield County, and brought them food. And then right now is our big rivalry game, Darien versus New Canaan, and on Saturday they're going to go and clean up the fields.
It is a great cause, and you're an inspiration, I think, to a lot of these people out here, because all it takes, you don't have to be anybody special. It's 100 minutes, less than 2 hours, just volunteer to help out.
And Alex, I gotta say though, you also show how easy it is just to get out there and help people. And I love that you're wearing your Blue Wave football in honor of your big rival today.
It's a big game. I just got the score. We're down, so pray that we get up pretty soon.
You can always come back. I promise you that.
But I think the big thing that I learned when thinking about this is really the NFL didn't even have to reach out to the community, because the millions of minutes and hours that all our volunteer coaches and families do to bring these programs to all of our communities is so important. And so a shout out to all those team coaches and those team moms and everyone's doing all the work there.
Thank God for those team moms.
Thank you very much.
Great moms. Shannon Silsby does a great job for us. So.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Congratulations again. You know, there's so many ways to donate your time, to donate, to help other people. Our own Jay Glazer has a program that helps military veterans who are now out of the military and retired NFL players. It's called MVP, Emerging Vets and Players. And Jay, it has made a real impact on the lives of so many individuals.
Thank you, Kurt. I appreciate that. And actually, just 2 weeks ago, Sean McVay and Ted Rath and some of the Rams coaches asked us to come out to the Rams and have a special MVP session to help our combat vets. And also, Sean McVay wants to get his players ready for life after football. We're a foundation called MVP, Emerging Vets and Players. We're taking former combat vets, merging them together with former NFL players.
You guys give us such a great perspective, but what there is a similarity in is how much there is a power in the group and being able to lean on one another.
Show me what you made of MVP! Just like that, you go all day.
For us, it was that camaraderie, and I realized that that's what I was missing.
And instead of holding on to the negative that have happened overseas, embrace the positive.
You live for moments when you have the opportunity to step up and challenge yourself to be a better person. You got to learn how to just talk yourself into believing in yourself.
This program has transformed my life for the best. It's made me a better father, a better son, a better human being.
Who's got my back? I got your back. Who's got my back? I got your back. Who's got my back? I got your back. 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm proud to say because of our work, there's a lot of combat vets who I think are able to spend Thanksgiving with their families this year. And it's Thanksgiving, guys, and I want to give a special thanks to some people here at Fox. Our executives, Eric Shanks, Mark Silverman, Brad Zager, our producer, Bill Richards. Every year I've done this program, they have aired a feature on Fox to help get attention to our combat vets, show them that we're with them. And I don't think you know this, but every single year we have aired one of these features. I've had a combat vet reach out to me on that day and said, thank you, you saved my life. Wow. I don't think you understand what it's like to have a hero telling you, thank you, you saved my life. And you guys have walked this walk with me.
Well, Jace, and I got to say, for you, I mean, my oldest friend here, especially we met back in 1993, your first year as a reporter, my first year in the NFL, and I've seen you do so many incredible things that help so many people, and I've tried to be, and I've been involved with the program with you from when you started it. Just listen to you talk about it and seeing the impact that you've made. It is the greatest thing I've ever seen you do, and I love you, and there's all these other vets coming from a military family. What you do is nothing short of amazing. Come here, give me a hug, little man. You can cry on my shoulder any day.
And again, it just shows you the impact of what you can do by giving the time and caring. Thank you, Jay. Thank you to all the volunteers out there, no matter what you volunteer at and what you do all across America. When we come back, we'll continue talking football, including previewing tonight's game between the Saints and Falcons as the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade continues. Hey, I recognize that float. Time now for our Keeping It Crisp segment brought to you by Bud Light. And for the Bears-Lions contest on this family holiday, we'll try and keep it positive. For example, the Lions lead the NFL in completions over 20 yards. So, TB, even without your guy Matthew Stafford, this Lions offense got some talent.
Yeah, they do. You know, they've got Hawkinson is a young rookie tight end out of Iowa. They picked in the first round. David Blau, a third-year quarterback, actually a free agent. He's coming back in. His first start out of Purdue. They have some good receivers. The problem is, obviously, Matthew Stafford out with the broken bones in his back.
All right, let's talk about the Bears offense. Everyone talks about Mitchell Trubisky, but Jimmy, give Chicago fans some hope about some bright young spots they can be thankful for.
He is a young player. He's going to get better. They can work the offense around his talents. You know, the coaching staff needs to fit him in to play action and movement. There's hope.
All right, let's talk some defense, Michael. What do the Lions have to do on the field, and what kind of players do they need to get in the offseason to improve?
Well, they showed some flashes early in the season. They traded Quandre Diggs to the Seattle Seahawks. He's starting for them now. They need a shutdown corner. They need a pass rusher to go with Trey Flowers. So they have some holes they need to fill.
All right, let's take a look at that Bears defense, Howie, because they're giving up only 17 points a game. That's fourth lowest in the entire NFL. We all know about Khalil Mack. Who else is making this defense click?
Yeah, I think Eddie Jackson, Fuller, Roquan Smith, Goldman is a stud. People don't know about him. And I think Floyd is also flashed. I think the thing they're missing this year is the flash plays, and maybe that'll show up today.
All right. Who's going to win the game? Bears, Lions.
Bears. Let's go. Bears.
I didn't even look at the hat. I should have known that. I got surprised by it. The Bears-Lions contest is the first of 3 games this Thanksgiving. It all wraps up tonight with a rematch between the Saints and Falcons. You know what? Their first meeting 3 weeks ago might just have been the upset of the year.
He's down again! The 6th sack of the day! Fires over the middle. It is called in for the touchdown. And Atlanta shocks a lot of people. Winning Sunday in the Big Easy.
1-7 Atlanta team comes in and they hammer us at home.
The New Orleans Saints, they've Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
A lot of different blades. They line him up in a lot of different places. Now, if we look at the video, they line him up in the slot. You know, he can be a receiver. They put him out the wide receiver or back in the slot as a running back. Now they put him back in the slot. Now they moved him to tight end. Also, he's a backup quarterback. So they do a lot of different things with him. Now, he is 6'2", 220 pounds, and he runs a 4.4 40. Here they throw a bubble screen to him. We're going to run what we call a wheel route. Now, we need from the audience, Rebecca from Virginia.
There we go.
All right.
You had to find someone with a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
The cowboy hat.
Accidentally picked her with a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
You're going to be Taysom Hill. All right, Terry, we're going to run what we call a wheel route. Wheel route. Now, Michael, you're going to run the slant, take the coverage inside, and then we're going to wheel it right down the sideline. Here we go. Terry, take it over. Set. Ready, hut.
We know you can do it. We believe.
Hey, I'll tell you. Hey, wait. I'll play linebacker. Okay.
Oh, you're going to be the linebacker.
Yeah, I'm going to be the linebacker. Okay. Catch it this time. Set. Red hunt. Right here. Cowboys. All right.
Great job. Great job, Rebecca. Keep the football. Keep it. That's yours.
That's yours.
All right, you're good.
Real quick, even though you were talking about Taysom Hill being the Swiss Army knife, when you talk to Sean Payton, it used to be we're going to use him as this great weapon. He's now changed. He legitimately thinks this guy could be a franchise quarterback. Quarterback. In the NFL. Quarterback. He thinks he's that good.
I've seen him cover kicks, and when he's out in space, he's not looking to move around you. He wants to run through you. He's one of the more physical guys on that team.
So they had the rematch tonight.
Good job.
Last time it didn't go the Saints' way. TB, how do you think it'll happen tonight?
I think the Saints, listen, they're a football team, a quality football team. Offensive line on the left side is all banged up. But this is a football team that should take care of Atlanta. Atlanta losing at home is the shocker to me after coming off 2 straight great wins on the road, beating New Orleans in New Orleans. Tonight, I guarantee you, Sean Payton, Drew Brees, they'll have their team ready to go, and they'll take care of business.
And Taysom Hill is going to be part of
the game, too, that Dan Quinn decided to change up the entire defense.
All right, maybe he should get Rebecca to play offense for him because she took her 2 tries, but she caught it. She got a game ball from all of us. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Enjoy it. Happy Thanksgiving, Rebecca. All right, up next, we'll have more with Chef Eddie Jackson, plus Rob Gronkowski and Cooper Manning. No parking on Thursday because we're here taking over New York City.
Something to Buddy, but he wouldn't stand on the field long enough. He put his big fat rear end into the dressing room.
See you later. His third of the game. Randy Moss just outruns everybody into the end zone. He is incredible. Peyton with his second 6-touchdown game of his career.
You know, there's just so many great Thanksgiving memories, and football is family. We like to say that. Probably no more so than on Thanksgiving Day. We are here with the crowd. We see all these different people with all their different relatives. I see you two. You must be together. I would ask you who you're rooting for. Who you got? Is father, son?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Representing the Patriots from Boston.
I can tell you look just alike. Thank you so much here. You talk about families during the Thanksgiving season. Look at Cooper Manning and his family, Rob Gronkowski and his family. They're all part of large football families that we all know the different players are there. But we were wondering, what were their family Thanksgivings like when they were growing up as a kid? With these two, you never know what to expect, I guess.
Man, Thanksgiving at the Gronkowski house was great.
The Mannings always had the best Thanksgivings.
What didn't happen? Broken open chins, bloody noses.
I remember we put stuffing in Eli's underwear. He didn't even know it happened. He was only 3.
Broken lights, broken couches.
I fried a turkey one year and burned down the entire back house. My parents had just renovated. My favorite part of the day, though, was always...
The one thing that always stood out to me?
Our Thanksgiving Day turkey bowl.
Thanksgiving Day turkey bowl.
Wait, you had a turkey bowl, too?
Heck yeah. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Manning versus Gronkowski, Turkey Bowl.
Let's do this. Call up your bros.
I will. Taking down the Gronkowskis.
The Mannings. I don't even think they have 4 brothers, so already advantage there.
I'll see you at the park in 15.
Can't wait to beat a Manning one last time.
Oh.
Your brothers look a little different. And what is he doing here?
I don't want to talk about that. Your family looks intimidating.
Because they are. Do you have a problem?
Get a little closer here. Huh? I think you're taking this a little bit too seriously.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're dressed like someone's getting ready to kill someone.
Yeah, this is the Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl.
All business?
All business.
I want you to run down. I want you to run a little flare. Blue 18! Blue 18! Razor! Razor! Oh, God! Help! Help!
Stay down.
Maybe Gronk should have played defense in his career. We're back with Chef Eddie Jackson. You ever have a turkey bowl back when you were a kid? You have brothers?
No, I do have brothers. They're a lot younger than I am, though. So when I
you dominated them then?
Oh, total domination. Total domination.
All right, we're back for more food here. What do you got for us this time?
All right, so I promised you guys we was going to eat good today, and you can't have Thanksgiving without what? Turkey.
Of course.
Right? So I got some turkey legs for you, right? And these are Szechuan turkey legs, so I put a little twist on your average turkey, right? So what I did was basically roast them off, and I made the Szechuan pepper glaze, right? Reduce it down, and all I'm going to do is just finish it off right on the grill, and we're just going to glaze these off.
Guys, said these are the bomb.
These are the bomb. Guys, go ahead and get in there. What are you waiting on?
So these are already made?
Yeah, those are for you. Yeah.
Eddie, you got to answer this. My mother, when I was a little bitty kid, she said she preferred a big hen to a turkey because it was juicier. What do you think about that?
Hey, look, I'm not going to go against your mama. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right now.
It is good, man.
Yeah, come on, get in here, guys.
Very good.
Yeah, so all these recipes I'm making today are coming from my cookbook, Game Day Eats, right? So it's perfect for game day. There you go, Coach. Get in there.
There we go. I
know you had a lot of these back in the 90s, right?
Oh, I had a lot.
A lot of these.
A lot of him, too.
Yeah.
See, you can't take them anywhere.
Can't take you anywhere, man.
There you go.
How is it, guys? Everything's good?
Fantastic.
That's what I'm talking about. We got 2 more dishes coming your way, all right?
This is the ball.
It is the ball.
You gotta talk, I gotta chew. That's good, though. That's fantastic. Good. Thank you so much.
Oh, man.
We can't wait to get more food later. And what's up next for us? So,
all right, so next we have a little bit of gumbo, right? So we're going to repurpose some turkey and add it to the gumbo.
Can't wait for that. We're going to eat some more in this next break.
No dressing today, Coach. No dressing, no dressing.
From Ford Field as we set the table for the Bears against the Lions, kicking off a triple header of football here on Thanksgiving as the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade marches on.
So welcome to our Thanksgiving and go Niners.
Well, Kittle and his 49er teammates had their Thanksgiving dinner on Monday night. No game for him today, but Chicago and Detroit will be busy. Time for us to get up to speed courtesy of State Farm. And we'll check in on the Bears and Lions, starting with Christina Pink, who answers the question, just who is healthy enough to start a quarterback for Detroit? As we say, happy Thanksgiving, Christina.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, Kurt. You know, this is not the first, but the second time that the Lions have done the quarterback shuffle when they faced the Bears this season. Last time, it was a last-minute change with Jeff Driscoll, who is now going to serve as the backup quarterback today with a hamstring injury. So, hello, David Blau, who will be making his NFL debut on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Day in front of a national audience. So, hey, no need for nerves, right? And this guy came out, warmed up. He was all smiles, and he actually warmed up under the watchful eye of both Matthew Stafford and Jeff Driscoll. And he told me this is what you dream about when you're throwing the football around in your backyard as a kid. He told me he's comfortable. He took majority of the first team reps, and he is ready to go in making his first NFL start. Now over to Aaron Andrews and the Chicago Bears.
Christina, thanks. You know, defensive coordinator Chuck Pagano said on this very short week at quarterback, this is a look at what he had to say. But when I talked to him this morning, he said, yeah, as soon as we heard the new quarterback was stepping in, we got all the preseason snaps that he took in Cleveland this year. They even went back and looked at some footage of him at Purdue. Pagano telling me this guy is used to a big stage. He was there when they upset Ohio State last year. He's got moxie. He's savvy. The keys for us stay the same. We have to do our job. We have to execute. We have to communicate, and we have to expect they're going to hand it off to their running back early and often. I asked Coach Pagano if he's worried about it all, his defense having a letdown. He said that's a trap we cannot fall into. And in fact, several players saying this Bears defense salivating at the chance to get a hold of this rookie quarterback. Kurt, happy Thanksgiving. Send it back to you.
All right, happy Thanksgiving to you.
The other guy.
What'd you say?
I didn't even know his name. We're getting ready for that other guy.
Wait now. Chuck Pagano coached for me at Miami. He knows his name.
Everybody will find out his name, good or bad, depending on how he performs today. You know, we've seen all these different team hats around here. The best one I've seen so far. Bears fan. Gotta be, right?
Polar bears.
That's a unique look.
But she has an eagle scarf. That's why I'm confused.
It's a split family. You know, one great tradition for millions of families around the country, actually, is a football game that usually breaks out during Thanksgiving. Well, for one lucky family, this year's Turkey Bowl won't be played in the street among oncoming traffic, but in the NFL's most iconic stadium with the legendary offensive coordinator to boot.
Lambeau Field. For 16 seasons, this was my home. Made some good memories here, too.
What a throw by Brett Favre. Brett Favre is something else.
And today in this iconic stadium, I'm here to make some more memories. As the NFL celebrates its 100th season, I'm opening up the gates so that one lucky family can play their annual Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl right here. Pretty cool. Is this the visitors' locker room? Police, where's McKenna at? You're responsible for all this.
I am. I'm McKenna Leiden, and I'm from Denver, Colorado. My family has had a turkey bowl every year since 1975.
We have friends throughout our journey in life. It started originally with 6. Now it's at 150 people.
So it's become a family deal that kicks off the holiday season for us. We started it in the park, and here we are, and we got family and friends around us, and we have...
You're playing in Lambeau.
Playing Lambeau.
They don't let many people play in Lambeau.
We're honored.
Is this on TV?
Good to meet you. Yeah. Thursday.
You guys better not suck.
Let's go play.
Here we go. Experience something. 1, 2.
When Kurt and I started this Turkey Bowl, we had no idea that it would culminate to being at Lambeau Field. Brett frigging Favre was here.
What an honor. What a historic place. And to be able to play a game here is pretty incredible.
Make a play.
This is a Thanksgiving my brother and I and the family will never forget.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Maybe they'll start a new family tradition. Since so much of our Fox family has to work on Thanksgiving, we've invited a lot of the kids who are kids of Fox family members to come out and play their Turkey Bowl out here on the football field. Michael's defensive coordinator. Terry, you get to be offensive coordinator.
Are you ready? We got the sister in the backfield. We got to play.
We are taking out. You cannot cover this play.
Tell you something. We are locked into man-to-man. My guys are focused. Are we ready, defense?
Ready? Set. Hut. Fake it. Go back.
Safety, baby.
We got time for another. That was first down. right,
Come on, David. Set, hut, go. Yeah. Fire.
Interception. Michael's defensive coordinator wins it. We will be back with much more live from New York right after this.
Today is about three things: family, friends, and football. And also a reminder why you only see certain people once a year. It's the Bears and the Lions. Who will be the hero today?
Happy to have you with us on this Thanksgiving, one of my favorite football days of the year every year.
Happy Thanksgiving as we kick off this Fox NFL special. And Terry, I'm coming for you.
Terry Bradshaw has been challenged by Clint Eastwood. Marvin Jones Jr. and the Lions are ready for their challenge today as they take on the Bears. We'll hear from Jones a little later in the show just about how football and family are all together in his household. Meanwhile, Khalil Mack leads the league in strip sacks, fumbles since joining the Bears last season. He had another one in Chicago's win on Sunday over the Giants. He'll try and do just the same. Take another rookie quarterback as we welcome you to the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL special pregame show rolling on for you as we get you set for this NFC North showdown. The Lions against the Bears. It is all headed your way live from New York City. 6th Avenue is where we are, where the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is going on in the background. We will take you to Ford Field in just a bit for more on today's matchup, which is just about an hour away right now, though. We want to welcome those of you who have been with us for the first hour and those of you that are just joining us. Hey, welcome to New York City. Happy Thanksgiving. Along with Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy, I'm Kurt Menefee. A special thanks to Clint Eastwood for his help in opening our show. Of course, his new movie, Richard Jewell, hits theaters December 13th. He called you out. You worried?
No, I got to tell you, I met him in a restaurant, and it was kind of like one of the great moments of my life. Because it was like overwhelming, and I didn't normally get overwhelmed because when I met, other than when I met you the first time, Kurt.
Oh, but only the first time. Only the first time, exactly. Hey, you know what? You guys probably think Eastwood against Bradshaw would be a pretty intriguing matchup.
I don't think so.
I don't know if it compares to what we've got in store for you on Fox this holiday weekend. It all starts in just about an hour, as we said, with an NFC North battle between the Bears and the Lions. Saturday, we've got a huge college football game at noon Eastern, Michigan against Ohio State. And then on Sunday, many of you will catch the 10-1 49ers visiting Lamar Jackson and the red-hot 9-2 Ravens in a possible Super Bowl preview.
The evolution of the quarterback is happening. This is the guy leading the charge.
The spin, the sprint, and the score. San Francisco.
They're playing for one another. There is no fear.
This is a heavyweight fight.
Oh, man, how much fun is it going to be to watch Lamar Jackson go up against that 49er defense? You know, Lamar Jackson in the last 3 games has thrown 12 touchdown passes. In year 2 of my career, I finished with 12 touchdown passes. Huh? I guess not. We're going to see something special. We're going to see a defense with the 49ers. And I just told Kurt while we were watching, I said, I never the other night have seen a defense come after a Green Bay offense, or any offense for that matter, so fast and so quick and so dominant. And the great matchup is that it's speed versus speed. You're talking about a Ravens, we're talking about a quarterback that's changing the way the NFL is probably going to play from this day forward. And the thing is that it's, how do you slow him down? That's the question. I don't know how you're going to do that. Everybody plays zone, and he throws those zone routes extremely well.
But they're going to have trouble slowing him down. I mean, the Ravens have done something that no team has ever done before. They've won the last 3 games by 34 points or more. And a lot of times they beat teams who preseason we said could be Super Bowl contenders. So it's not a fluke what they're doing, but there's nothing better than playing with a lead. You're allowed to have fun. This defense is having fun. Matthew Judon, after he got a sack last week, he went and had a beer with a fan. I mean, man, they just guys are really having a good time. You have Humphrey, you have Smith, you have Peters, you have Earl Thomas in the backfield. Whenever you have that kind of secondary, whenever you have these kind of leads, you're able to have fun. And this is a coach that trusts his team. He sent those guys out there, and he knows he's going to get the best result, and they're going to give them everything that they have.
Yeah, and Baltimore's a team, I think, that believes it's not a question of when, it's a question of if and who do we play in the Super Bowl. That's their mindset.
Oh, you're going right there. Oh,
no, they've gone there. They've gone there, and justifiably so. I mean, at this point, they're mauling people. This matchup, to me, is a phenomenal matchup. That San Francisco defense is dominant. They're not doing it with smoke and mirrors. They're doing it with a front four that's all under 25 years old, all super talented. I don't know how they can keep everybody signed there, but the offense has gelled. I mean, despite missing tackles, missing tight ends, fullbacks, running backs, you name it, they've missed them, and they're 10-1, and they were dominant last week on offense, running the football. And Kittle is the key, both to the pass game and the run game, because it sets up free runners on play-action pass for Garoppolo.
Yeah, and how you talk about this 49er defense, you know, their front four, they're as physical as anybody in the league, as talented and as physical as anybody in the league. But have they seen a 230-pound back like Mark Ingram pound it up, hit him in the mouth, and then all of a sudden you got the speed of Lamar Jackson going outside? You know, if they do that, if the linebackers have to help the defensive line with that slug it out, run it up the middle, then the secondary is going to have to make the tackles on one of the fastest quarterbacks I've ever seen, you know, with Lamar Jackson going outside. The secondary is going to have to tackle.
Here's what I'm worried about. We saw this last year in the NFL. We saw these great teams come, and then 3 games later, we saw them go back down and everything. So up and down, and I'm just curious if we're going to see that again. I hope not.
Well, both these teams are, even though they're scoring, are predicated on defense. Yeah. We're going to see both these defenses on the pregame show, sitting down with each team's defense on Sunday before the Ravens and Niners. Good. All right, the Bears-Lions contest, though, is what's coming up right now. Actually, not right now, in less than an hour. Joe Bo got a little bit more time to get ready for it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Back there in the studio. By the way, those we have been talking a lot about David Blau over the last 24 hours. He gets to start today for the Detroit Lions, and we know enough about sports. We know enough about the NFL this year, and we certainly know enough about Thanksgiving games that makes an unlikely hero. We've seen it in the past. Maybe it happens here today.
Well, I saw it in 1994 when Jason Garrett, as the third-string quarterback, started the game against the Packers and had a huge game and an upset victory for the Cowboys. And think back to last year. David Blau himself, for the Purdue Boilermakers, he's able to beat the Ohio State Buckeyes when they were #2 in the country. So it is certainly possible, but how's it going to happen? He's an inexperienced guy, and this game's going to be happening very, very fast for a guy who, yes, got the reps, but what does that mean in a short week? It's basically walkthroughs. They're going to have to block number 52 for the Chicago Bears to start with, Khalil Mack. And then it helps that this Bo Scarborough, the tailback for the Detroit Lions, the last 2 weeks, he's brought a physical style, and he's coming off a huge game on Sunday against the Washington Redskins. That's the first place I'd start. I'd start feeding him the ball and see if maybe he can help you.
Yeah, and you think about the other side, Mitch Trubisky, the trial continues for him. He was a Pro Bowl quarterback in 2018 for a 12-win team that was 1 field goal away from getting to a divisional playoff game, and all bets are off with him. He's got to prove himself down the stretch. We can't wait for this game. It's going to be fun. A lot of angles to watch. Right now, Kurt, guys, back to you.
All right, Joe, the leaves aren't real, but they are spectacular. Just keep that in mind, all right? You guys get up. It's time for us to go back out on the streets of New York as we continue our show here. And we've also got some special guests from a galaxy far, far away in Los Angeles in our studio who wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Why are you looking at the leaves, TB?
Oh, my.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, in theaters December 20th.
Fans Pro Football winning inducted into the Ford Hall of Fans in Canton, Ohio. Are you fan enough to get in? Here's your chance to tell us why you should be nominated. Go to FordHallOfFans.com/football now. The Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show is sponsored by Ford F-Series, the official truck of the NFL.
I think I'm going to nominate all these fans behind us here on 6th Avenue in New York City. They deserve to go in the Hall of Fans. We're getting you set for the Bears and Lions here on Fox later today. Game 2 of this NFL tripleheader will be the Cowboys hosting. Well, there's been a lot of heat on Cowboys coach Jason Garrett. In fact, owner Jerry Jones stoked the fire immediately following the loss and has only turned up the heat in the days since.
Victories. This is a big loss.
It's not an easy road the rest of the way for Jason Garrett.
I think you're going to
in the coaches.
your general manager, which I am. Those coaches are out there at my ultimate decision.
We're going to get back to it and worry about the Bills on Thanksgiving.
You know, if you look back over the last 9 Jason Garrett has been with the Cowboys for 9 years as their head coach. In that same frame of time, there are 6 other coaches who are still head coaches in the NFL who have been to the Super Bowl. Jason has not done that yet. I don't think he's never, in my opinion, has been the coach for this team. If he just go back to last week on the 11-yard line, going in to score, instead of going for it on 4th down when the score was 13-9, what'd they do? Kick the field goal, 13-6. Kick the field goal. Didn't get aggressive. Didn't go after. And that seems to be his M.O. And I don't think that Jerry Jones is going to pick a different coach. He's not going to hire another Jimmy Johnson. He doesn't want someone that wants control of football operations, picking the players, so on and so forth. He doesn't want a Bill Parcells, who is just like Jimmy. He's not going to pick that kind of coach. Therefore, I'm afraid he's going to get another Jason Garrett, and we're going to see the same thing. This team has not been relevant since that guy was the head coach.
Well, Terry, I know there's disappointment. You know, Jason's won a couple of playoff games, you know, and people say, well, you know, that's not enough. Well, they've only won 3 playoff games the last 23 years, you know, so it shouldn't be a big disappointment. But let's be positive about this situation. The Cowboys right now are in a great position to win the NFC East. I think they're going to win this game against Buffalo today. And then if they can win in Philadelphia December the 22nd, I think they'll win that division. Winning the division, they'll host a playoff game, and as talented as this team is,
anything can happen.
Anything can happen. They're a talented football team.
Yeah, anything can happen. And you're saying that they should win this game today? Yeah, we've been expecting them to win a lot of games, but they haven't won. I mean, they're 6-5 for a reason, and they're going against the Buffalo team that's 8-3. Josh Allen presents a unique problem for them that they haven't seen all year. A big quarterback who can run, and they use him in the running game. 6'5", 240 pounds, 3 blockers in front, and just run the ball. They use him as a running back, and this is a team that has the legendary Frank Gore, but that guy Josh Allen leads them in rushing touchdowns with 7. They use him in the running game, a unique problem for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and it's a team that's balanced. They're 8-3 for a reason. They're 4-1 on the road, which is unique.
Yep.
This young quarterback is a guy that if he evolves, this organization can go places. This defense, I think they've given up 7 passing touchdowns through the course of the season, second only to New England. So they cover the ball. Their knock has been the run game. Philadelphia ran the ball all over them. They're going to have to knuckle up and play the run today versus the Dallas Cowboys. Otherwise, it's a lost cause. But the Buffalo Bills are not an easy out. They're 8-3 for a reason.
And we're going to have to see the Cowboys do something they haven't done all year. They're 0-4 against teams with winning records. And you've already talked about Buffalo has a winning record. So, Jay Glazer, I want to ask you, is it as simple to say that Jason Garrett is coaching for his job even today?
You know, look, Jerry Jones came out this week. He was very emotional. As a result, there's been questions at could they actually make a coaching change after today's game or sometime at this season? No, that's not the plan right now. They're not looking to make a coaching change with Jason Garrett or anybody else, despite what happens with the record. However, going into this year, Jason Garrett knew he needed to win, but I think the rules have changed a little bit. I think going into this season, he needed to make the playoffs and maybe win a playoff game, but how it's gone, I think Jason Garrett needs to at least go to the Super Bowl and possibly win the Super Bowl if he is going to get a contract extension for the Dallas Cowboys.
That makes it pretty easy.
Hey, that's a tough one right there.
You know what you got to do, right?
Did we put Jay up there to make him look taller?
Is it working? Is it working?
Well, of course, look, Dallas is part of the 100-year anniversary celebration today of the NFL. And really, one of the most infamous plays in Thanksgiving Day lore involves our own Jimmy Johnson. As he will tell you, he won a couple of Super Bowls leading the Cowboys dynasty back in the 90s. So I guess he's been able to let this play go.
In 100 years of NFL football, there have been a lot of infamous plays. So today, I'm here to tell you the real story about what happened on Thanksgiving Day, November 25th, 1993. Here's the story.
A winter storm has taken grip on the Dallas metropolitan area.
It's snowing in Dallas on Thanksgiving. It never snows on Thanksgiving in Dallas. The Dolphins line up for a 41-yard field goal.
15 seconds, and here comes Stoyanovich. They either win or they lose.
This brings us to Mr. Misunderstood, Leon Lett. Leon didn't play on special teams. Our special teams coach said, hey, it's snowing. Let's put a big guy right up in the middle. We're liable to block the field goal. You know, we threw him in there. You know, that's not good coaching.
And it's blocked! It's blocked and rolling around at the 10-yard line.
Everyone motions to get away from it. So Leon, never practicing on special teams, not ever hearing the rules.
Nobody would be stupid enough to go up and touch it there, would they?
He tries to recover it.
Oh, Leon Lett! Leon Lett!
Muffs it. They get the ball back. Kick a field goal. They win the game. We were shocked, devastated. I didn't know what to do. I said, Leon, it wasn't your fault. We're the dummies that put him in that situation, and he wasn't prepared for it. And you know what? That was the last game I ever lost in Dallas. We went on to win the Super Bowl, and Leon, he went on to have a great career. Thank you. Listen.
It always comes back to him, doesn't it?
I know. I took the blame because I should have had Leon on special teams, but I ended on a positive note. We did win the Super Bowl.
Well, I got a question, though.
You told me you were going to fall on the sword.
I fell on the sword.
Well, I have a question.
Stuck it in your special team coach's mouth.
But this is what I wonder, though. Did you fall on the sword now, or did you fall on it 20-something years ago when it happened?
Well, I got a little amnesia right now.
Hey, well, let's talk about another special Thanksgiving Day memory as we sit back here and flashback our NFL 100 memories, one involving someone else on this crew. All right, the year was 2008. I can remember like it was just 11 years ago.
Michael's first Thanksgiving at Fox.
Michael said, I'm so excited about this Thursday. It's the first Thursday I've had off my entire career.
We start talking about, okay, the show on Thursday. And Michael looks around and went, you guys talking about next Sunday, you mean?
And you can see his head going, this is a joke?
He goes, but Thursday's Thanksgiving.
You guys actually work on Thanksgiving?
What do you mean Thursday? I got a plane chartered. We're going to Mexico. My family, my father, and my mother.
It's like he's never seen a Thursday broadcast. We've been doing it for 25 years.
He had no idea he had to work on Thursday. And if you could have been in that room, you'd still be laughing. Get used to it, Strahan.
Yeah, it's great to come out here and be surprised by the stuff y'all do.
And that is a true story, though. So
that is a true story. That's as big of a surprise as it is that we had to work on Thursday. I had no idea we worked on Thanksgiving. I was expecting to have turkey and hang out with these people.
How big a check was that you for that charter you cost up? How much you have to write that?
It was commercial.
And now Michael works on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. You work every day now. You've made up for it. We've got plenty more to come on this Ford Fox NFL special pregame show. When we come back, Martin Jones shares a special message about family and football. Plus, the incredible life of Brian Piccolo. The strength and courage he showed in the face of great odds is something that still resonates today.
We hear all the time incredible stories of things that he did that, I mean, and it was 50 years ago.
They say human beings are the smartest mammals, but those people haven't met my cousin Fred. Huh? Nothing, Fred. Just keep eating. But when it comes to lions and bears, who's smarter? They say lions are superior in protecting their territory and stalking their prey. Bears, on the other hand, have human-like navigation abilities, and some claim they are more aggressive than lions. So the question is, who would win a battle, lions or bears? Well, thankfully, because this is Thanksgiving, we're going to find out the answer to that question very soon. Now let's get back to some of my favorite mammals: Kurt, Jimmy, Howie, Terry, and Stray. No, Fred, that's not where a fork goes.
Michael Key, thanks for doing that for us. We're back here at Fox Square on 6th Avenue, and we're rejoined by Chef Eddie Jackson. And this is the dish that Jimmy has been talking about all day. He can't wait for it.
Listen, I grew up in Port Arthur, right across from the Louisiana line, and I'm a gumbo connoisseur.
It's cold outside, so I figured I'd make something to warm you guys up, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what I've done is taken some of that leftover turkey, and I shredded it down. Instead of using like chicken or some other protein, I incorporated that into this gumbo. So it's a good idea for when you have leftover turkey, make a gumbo, right?
Eddie, did you make it?
You need a little bit more juice in it.
Eddie, did you make it with a nice roux?
Oh, nice roux. I got some andouille sausage in there.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, you got to have that andouille. Go ahead and get in there, Coach. What'd you say?
You two can talk about recipes.
Yeah, so we can talk these recipes. Now, everything that I made today is super easy, right? You can.
What's in that bottle?
Gotta have a little Tabasco.
You gotta have. You want a little dash, Coach?
Yeah, we have.
Pow!
Oh, no, hit me.
Pow, pow!
Hit me. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, let's the bon ton roulette.
Le bon ton roulette. Yeah. Let's get in here. Tell me what you think, Coach.
Oh, I don't know what I'm witnessing, but it's great.
I don't know what he said.
Me either.
Slide one down.
Get a spoon?
Need another spoon.
Here, you can have a spoon.
Okay.
Because I've got to talk. We've got dessert coming.
That's good, right?
We're only about 30 minutes or so before kickoff in Detroit, where Kenny Golladay and the Lions get set to take on the Bears. He and Marvin Jones Jr. are a formidable 1-2 punch. In fact, no receiving combo in the league and more touchdown catches than those two. Jones' story about family and football is up ahead. Meanwhile, the top weapon for Chicago lately is wide receiver Allen Robinson. He's coming off a monster game in a win against the Giants. He had 6 catches, 131 yards, and a touchdown. And the featured back for the Lions nowadays is a guy named Bo Scarborough. He's also one of the most popular pickups in fantasy football after getting 98 yards last week against Washington. Hey, plenty more to come here on this Fox NFL special with food, football, and plenty of laughter as Ha-Ha Clinton Dix will attest. Team in football is represented with a hat or a jacket or a jersey or something out here at Fox Square in New York City. Right here, I guess I can tell you guys are Bears fans, right? You're from Chicago?
We are from Chicago.
All right. Well, you got a big game coming your way. The Bears taking on the Lions, and really, there's no better day than Thanksgiving to witness the special connection that football has with millions of families like this all across the country. Not only because the sport brings people together, but it also provides important life lessons.
Very much.
Detroit Lions standout receiver Marvin Jones Jr., who coaches his kids at his local Pee Wee League, knows from experience that football is much more than just a game.
To my oldest boys. Okay, now I'm tripping. It is, okay, I'm trying not to be emotional. Okay, here we go.
Going once again to Marvin Jones, and he has a career high 4 touchdown receptions. Tell me how I believe in us.
Just like your name's Daddy. Okay?
My name is Marion. It's spelled M-A-R-E-O-N. I play wide receiver, running back, cornerback, and safety. Dear Daddy, You are the best catcher. You do the best dances after you score touchdowns. You are the GOAT. Dear Daddy, you are the best at scoring spectacular touchdowns. You are the best swag on the field. You are the best wide receiver in the league.
To my oldest boys, Marvin III and Marion, I want to first say how lucky I am to be your dad. Mommy and I having you when Daddy was at Cal was the best thing that ever happened to us. Since before you both started walking, you've had footballs in your hands. Obviously, that hasn't changed. When I see y'all play, both of y'all remind me of me when I was little.
My favorite thing about playing football is making good catches like you. When I'm playing football, my favorite part is scoring touchdowns just like you.
Guess who? Marvin Jones.
This game has taught me a lot. Patience, setting goals.
Football taught me to always work hard and be strong. Football has taught me to be patient and never give up.
Structure and the will to be the best has not only made me who I am in the NFL, it has also made me a better person outside of football. The traits that you will develop in this game will make you great leaders. It will make you successful in whatever you decide to do in life.
Go, Marion!
Dear Daddy, you are my hero because you are strong and great. Love your son, Marion. You are my hero because you are a great role model to me, and you have such a big heart that you would give me the world. Love, Marvin.
To my oldest boys, your mom and I are proud of you, and we're proud to be your parents, and we'll be with you every step of the way. Love, Daddy.
All right, Terry, you had daughters who didn't get a chance to play football. But Jimmy, you watched your son play football at Texas. Michael, you watched yours play football in high school. And, of course, everyone knows about Howie's two sons in the NFL, Chris and Kyle.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to coach all three of our boys, including Howie, and it's a great relationship builder. It's the moments just fly by, and you have to really stop and appreciate them, and that was a great piece.
A great piece, and you know, we talk about our boys and playing football, but your daughters are involved as well. And you know, I was young when I had my daughter Tanita and my son Michael, and they are a great motivator to do great things in your life. And now with Isabel and Sophia, it keeps on pushing me. So you know, the kids are the ultimate motivator and the reason that you wake up every day.
It was fun watching them play football, but my relationship with Brent and Chad today is better than it's ever been. I love today.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I got three girls, and teaching one of them how to sing a song and sitting on their bed, and Rachel was singing, and Aaron's wanting to ride horses, and Lacey's wanting to play basketball and volleyball. I mean, those are great moments. I don't know what it's like to have a boy, but I wouldn't trade my girls for anything.
Well, we don't have kids here, but I can tell you, I know all of you as fathers, and that's as impressive as anything you guys do on the air. I love you guys. I'm proud of you and the fathers that you are as well.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, talk about fathers. We've got the inspiring story of the late Bears running back Brian Piccolo. But first, why don't we check in on Kyle Rudolph and see how the tight end for the Minnesota Vikings is enjoying his Thanksgiving, family and Fox.
I'm Jordan Rudolph. This is Henry.
Say your names, girls. I'm Izzy.
And we wanted to wish you guys a very happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hi.
We just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Happy Thanksgiving!
Ryan Tannehill, a big part of that turnaround in Tennessee, as we are just about to wrap things up here at Fox Square in New York City, getting you all set for the Bears and the Lions coming up in just a bit. Now, if you have seen the movie Brian Song from the early 70s, you know it's the story about the late Bears running back Brian Piccolo, his battle against cancer, and his special relationship with his teammate NFL legend Gale Sayers. But it's also a tale that transcends sports, as their close friendship symbolized the hope many had that together we could achieve racial harmony and just simply help one another through life. Today, Piccolo's daughters are proud to carry on their father's legacy.
He loved Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, and he used to play that and dance with the three of us in the basement. So it was just a really sweet kind of memory.
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
I would describe him as big-hearted, funny, and warm.
He was the life of anything that he did.
He was very inclusive, and he wanted you to feel special.
Because I'm free.
The kind of person that everybody needs in their lives. I heard people talk about it and, oh, the movie, and even now people will say, oh, that's the first movie I ever cried at.
Gail Sayers. Yeah. Hey, Brian Piccolo.
People think that James Caan is our dad, and they seem surprised that we don't look like James Caan.
Brian's song is one of those rare, one-in-a-lifetime kind of moments. I always regard it as an act of love, a love between two guys.
The relationship that he had with Gail Sayers, they were the first interracial roommates in the NFL.
In that day and age, with race relations, and the Vietnam War was happening, and it was a really tumultuous time in the country. And what they did was a beautiful thing.
We were a part of something very, very special that really broke those barriers, allowed people to relax for a moment and just feel love. I've run into guys who broke into tears watching that movie. It's kind of a magical thing.
I'll see you tomorrow. You say so?
You have someone who is diagnosed with cancer and then is gone 7 months later. Everyone really wanted to make sure that it didn't happen again to someone else.
And we've raised just about $10 million in his name. His cancer was embryonal cell carcinoma. It's a very rare cancer. It is night and day from where it was when he was diagnosed. There was no cure. It was a death sentence.
It was less than 10% control rate, and now it's as much as 95%.
If you take a parent away from a kid at such a young age, it leaves a huge hole. Family Lives On Foundation work with children who have lost a parent, helping children with the grieving process. I was intrigued by it and decided that I would get involved.
The purpose of our tradition program is to help families to continue the happy memories that they celebrated with their parent. The child chooses the tradition, so whether that be going to a sports game, holiday baking, holiday shopping, or a day at the beach.
I absolutely think it would have been helpful for me growing up. As much as you might want to be there for your kids, as you're going through the process yourself, you can't do it all.
Traditions get lost in everyday life, and if we didn't have someone to remind us to celebrate the happy memories, that may not happen. So say it's a baking cookies tradition for Christmas. We send them the ingredients for sugar cookies or icing to decorate, cookie cutters. When we talk about grief, we associate it with sadness. So I think this really opens the door to celebrate the happy memories.
He loved movies, so did I. It just helped us sort of progress through our hard times. It helps you remember him, how he enjoyed things. I felt like he was still right there watching the movies right next to me. Some kids, they lose someone and they eventually start forgetting. But if you do something like this, a family tradition, it helps them just stay. It's like they're still there, like for me.
We've been going to Chicago Bears football games for as long as I can remember. Some of my fondest memories are Sundays at Soldier Field. There's also a sense of sharing something with him that is really comforting.
If the hands of time were hands that I could hold.
It's just something that brings us together.
The fact that he only lived for 26 years and yet his impact is lasting.
To have people remember you that way, to have a book written about you in a movie.
It really is hard to grasp that in June he will have been gone for 50 years. His legacy is just timeless.
To find out about the Piccolo Family Cancer Fund, just go to brianpiccolofund.org. And to find out about Family Lives On, that initiative, all you have to do is log on to familylivеson.org. Each and every year, the Bears also give out the Brian Piccolo Award to a rookie and a veteran who best exemplify the courage, loyalty, teamwork, dedication, and sense of humor of the late Brian Piccolo. That was certainly an emotional story, but it's just a reminder, again, how legacies can continue if you pick up the mantle and just kind of carry it for people. We can help each other through this.
And obviously his daughters grieved a great deal. I think for any children out there that parents have passed away in their life, that's a emptiness that no one can understand. So their foundation is doing a phenomenal job. I thought the relationship with Piccolo and Sayers was one of the most beautiful relationships, and race harmony is so important, and it only has to get better. So a beautiful, beautiful movie.
I think they've done a great job of picking it up, but also turning it into a positive thing for a lot of people, and bringing smiles to people's faces as they continue to go on. All right, right now we're going to get back to the serious business of football and back to Jay Glazer, who's got us our ins and outs, brought to you by Geico. Jay.
Thank you, Curtis. Yeah, beautiful piece there. And hey, late breaking news here. Snacks Harrison just scratched for the Lions. We all know about their quarterback situation here. Jeff Driscoll, he's active. He'll be the backup quarterback. Logan Thomas, he'll be the emergency quarterback for the Lions. David Blow, obviously, the starter. For the Dallas Cowboys later, Jeff Heath, he's out with that shoulder injury. And a big loss for them, Antoine Woods, their big nose tackle, he's out. Later on tonight, the Falcons get back Devonta Freeman. And Marshawn Lattimore, Sean Payton told me this morning he will be in for the Saints, but will he go against Julio Jones? I talked to Dan Quinn last night. He has a sprained shoulder, and Dan said, look, I'm going to make the decision, not Julio, because I know Julio wants to play. I'm going to bring him out there. I'm going to test that shoulder, see if he can extend that hand. If he can, I'll play him. If he can't, I'm not. True game time decision.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. You know, throughout the show, we have talked about how Thanksgiving is all about spending time with family and friends, but if one of your friends is Rob Riggle, well, that can make the holiday a little more unpredictable, at least for me.
Kurt, I'm picking the Lions, Bills, and Saints.
I don't know why you insist on bringing me here just to give me your picks in person.
Hey, you ever notice how everyone's tired of Christmas songs? I think what they really want is a Thanksgiving song.
No, they don't. That's stupid. You wrote a Thanksgiving song, didn't you?
Maybe. Is this restaurant grade ranch?
And facing Trubisky in.
It's Menifee.
You know, I have a painting of Michael Strahan on my ceiling.
Well, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, bud. Hey.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, Grandma.
keep in mind, you can win $25,000 on today's game of Terry's Money.
My money again.
Again.
God,
all you got to do
guy.
is just download the Fox Sports Super 6 app and play for free. Now, Tony Gonzalez is normally with us making the picks. He's not here. He's in last place, but I'll try and help him out. These are Tony's official picks. He says in the first game, the Bears will win by 3.
Bears.
I've got the Bears winning by 10.
Bears by 6.
I have the Bears. Howie is by 6. I have the Bears by. Give me the number.
What are you doing there?
I think 10 or 6, 7, something. It's by 7.
You said 7.
By 7, yeah.
That little old lady has you flustered.
I know.
I've got the Bears by 10.
All right. The Cowboys over the Bills, according to Tony, by 10.
Yeah.
Terry.
I don't see Dallas losing at home, and Jason Garrett lives on another game. Cowboys. I see it. Cowboys by 4.
Cowboys by 7.
Cowboys by 10 for me.
Cowboys by 3. Does she have a mirror over the...
All right. Final game of the day. Tony has the Falcons by 3 over the Saints.
Well, that's a good call, Tony, but Saints by 3 over Atlanta.
Tony's down there getting his ring.
He's got a ring tonight.
I'm going to go Saints by 7.
I think the Saints are going to avenge the big loss. I'm going Saints by 14.
Wow. Howie, I'm with you. I got Saints by 7.
All right, Jimmy, real quick. What did you say earlier? Le bouton.
Let's the bouton roulette.
Which means?
Let the good times roll.
Well, why don't we roll back over here to Chef Eddie Jackson for our dessert?
Let's go. All right.
Off this meal.
Come on in, guys. Come on in, guys.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, this looks dangerous, Eddie. It looks dangerous.
It is dangerous. It is dangerous. All right, so we're going to finish off on a sweet note, guys.
Yeah. What is it?
So basically what I have is a sweet potato mousse with a cookie crumble.
Oh, I love
yeah. So it's a sweet potato mousse that I layered with some cookies, right? We're going to finish it off with a little bit of crumble on top. So really easy recipes, things that you can create really, really quickly. Yeah, you like that, don't you? Get in there, guys. How you like that, Coach? Go ahead.
Eddie, I'll tell you right now, man.
Oh, what we got?
This is good enough. I realize you were on the Patriots when we beat them on their undefeated season. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run you out of here.
Why are you bringing up old stuff?
I say this is worthy of a Super Bowl ring.
Yes, there we go.
Team today, my brother.
But you notice he tells the chef after he cooks. Never anger the chef before he cooks.
I'm no fool.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you so much.
On the Food Network. Thank you so much. And thank you all of you who joined us today. Go home, enjoy Thanksgiving meal with your family. Watch the Lions and Bears, which kickoff comes next here on Fox.